First item on our agenda is public comment. Is there anyone here for citizens' time? Come on up, introduce yourself and your address, and sign the paper, please. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Alex. I live in Pine Glen, and tonight I'm here to speak about double utility poles. We all know the sight, double utility poles leaning over our street, half sawed off, wires dangling overhead. In Massachusetts, those poles are already illegal. Under General Law, Chapter 164, Section 34B, utility companies have 90 days to remove old poles upon replacement. But because there are no penalties and no enforcement when companies fail to follow this law, they're everywhere. There are 4 on my street alone. It doesn't take an expert to look at these and know that this is not a good building plan. They saw off the bottom of the poles, slap a stilt on the bottom, and on my street, the foundation is just a couple of 2x4 scraps. This is not how proper foundations work. This is not what anyone would look at and choose for a safe installation. We do not need to be experts to look at this and know that this is fundamentally not a good permanent plan. At first glance, this might seem like a small nuisance, but it's more than that. They clutter our neighborhoods. They pose a danger to public safety. And they also reveal something deeper. When laws are written but not enforced, they stop mattering. They become suggestions. The ones who benefit are those who profit by cutting corners, while the people who pay the price are us, the normal residents who have to actually live with them. This is about the principle that laws only matter when they're applied. If we allow one set of rules to slide, we send the message that the law is optional, that those with power can look the other way. Meanwhile, ordinary people are left to deal with the consequences, the safety risks, the diminished quality of life, and the sense that their government is not there to protect them. And we didn't agree to this. No one voted to allow double utility poles in our front lawns. In fact, we have existing laws forbidding them. What we lack are consequences when these laws are flagrantly and frequently broken. That's why it matters so much that this select board is taking this issue so seriously. By pressing for accountability, by insisting that the laws on the books be respected, you are standing up not just for safety, but for the very idea that rules apply to everyone. That's the kind of leadership that our community needs right now, and I want to thank you for your commitment, especially Mr. Priest, who I know has done a lot of work on this issue. Because laws should matter. They are meant to protect the public, not just sit on paper. If we want our town to remain a safe and fair place to live, then we need to uphold them consistently and without exception. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the room for citizens' time? See someone online? You can unmute yourself and give us your name and address, please. Nope.
There you go. Hello, my name's Pam Boris. I live on Willow Street in Woburn. I'm just about 3 houses away from the Burlington border. And I'm dismayed about the ICE detention facility and the way it's operating now in Burlington. It's operating illegally, without transparency or accountability. It scoffs at the Constitution and the building and safety codes. These were created out of the suffering and deaths of others. They are not suggestions. And this isn't only a Burlington issue. What happens here affects all the neighboring communities and businesses. The facility once represented the United States and facilitated necessary paperwork. And now it's a pit of despair and a blight on Burlington and surrounding communities. If such a facility can operate in secrecy and impunity here, it sets a very dangerous precedent for anywhere. My son and I used to enjoy some splendid meals and hospitality on District Avenue. Now, we eat elsewhere. It's impossible to enjoy a nice dinner when across the street, people in a crowded basement are fed moldy food and a bottle of water a day. The ICE facility may soon draw more reporters, photographers, and protesters than patrons. Please, work for a better and more just Burlington. You've been justly proud of the model where technology goes to work, and it's true. Please, don't be known for the town which turned its back and shrugged its shoulders. You are in the news. I stand with you in calling for accountability, honesty, and a community that we can all be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for citizens' time? All right, moving on. Looks like we have an appointment. Chief?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, just for the record, it will be 4 appointments for you.
Oh,
for you
excellent.
tonight. So tonight, I'm requesting the appointment of 4 new police officers. These new officers have undergone an intense selection process that began with a physical abilities test and written exam back in June. We had well under 35 applicants, believe it or not, which is the lowest number to date since the department came out of civil service in 2014. However, from that group, we were able to convene an interview panel consisting of 5 sworn members across all ranks and was conducted by the deputy chief. From the panel, 5 candidates were selected to interview before the chief, the town administrator, and assistant town administrator. And 4 of those candidates scored very high in all aspects of the process and were subsequently offered conditional offers of employment, which was subject to successful completion of medical exams, psychological testing and assessments, thorough background investigations, and satisfactory completion of the initial academy physical requirements. With tonight's appointments, the 4 new officers will begin their academy training up at the Police Academy in Haverhill on October 14th. The academy will run for approximately 6 months, and then upon graduation, the new officers will be assigned to field training for approximately 12 weeks and then assigned to solo patrol. So as you can see there, hiring new officers is a long process, and getting them through their initial training takes well over 9 months. Because the academy is a condition of employment, I have not brought them before you tonight. However, I will bring them back before this board after graduation and allow them to meet you as well as the town residents at that time. So at this time, I would like to request the appointment of 4 officers. And Mr. Chair, I don't know if you'd like me to do it one at a time or if I could name all 4 for consideration by the town administrator.
I have no problem with all 4.
So the 4 would be Kenneth Sater of Burlington, Andrew Lally of Burlington, Taylor Gerard of Burlington, and Matthew Quayle of Woburn. And again, the effective date would be October 14th, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, on the recommendation of the chief and on behalf of the administration, we wish them well at the academy. We look forward to seeing them after they graduate, when they come back here and their employment becomes finalized. I would like to appoint effective October 14th, Kenneth Sater, Andrew Lally, Taylor Gerard, and Matthew Quayle, all to the position of police officer in the Burlington Police Department.
And waive the 15-day waiting period.
We could have more than 15 days.
All right. I'll make the motion, we appoint, concur with town administrator's appointment.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Another appointment for the Treasurer Collector Department. Anna?
Okay.
everyone. I am pleased to recommend Brunilda Langozi for the appointment to the position of the Treasurer-Collector Accounting Specialist. Bruna brings with her a strong foundation in banking and financial operations, having served as both a branch operations manager and a teller. These roles have equipped her with the organizational, transactional, and procedural skills necessary for success in this position. Her attention to detail and understanding of financial systems will be instrumental in supporting the Treasurer-Collector's office. In addition, Bruna has an extensive background in customer service, which will ensure positive and efficient interactions with residents. Her communication skills are further enhanced by her language proficiency. She is bilingual in English and Albanian. She is also conversational in Spanish and Greek. This will be an asset in serving our diverse community and ensuring accessibility for all residents. Bruna is also proficient in Microsoft Office and comfortable with the technology tools that are critical to this role. I am confident that she will be a valuable addition to our team and serve the residents of our town with professionalism and dedication. For these reasons, I respectfully recommend that the Select Board approve Bruna's appointment as the Treasurer-Collector Accounting Specialist, and I'm requesting that her start date be Tuesday, September 9th.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the recommendation of Treasurer DeRosa, I am appointing Brunilda Langozi to the position of Accounting Specialist in the Treasurer Collector's Office. I ask the board to waive their 15-day waiting period.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Chair is also an aye, 5-0. Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, I say go that way.
Watch your step there. Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Welcome aboard.
Congratulations. How are you related to Mimi?
It's my cousin.
Okay.
Yes.
I know her very well.
Thank you so much.
Tell her this guy's a guy.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. Item 4 is an approval for Tate Bakery. Good evening. You can introduce yourself and let us know what we're looking to do tonight.
Sure thing. Good afternoon. My name is Brendan Boyle. I'm Vice President of Development for Tate Bakery and Cafe. Here seeking a common victualer's license for our cafe and bakery at 101 Middlesex Turnpike, Unit 300A. We have a cafe and bakery concept serving no alcohol. Our operating hours are Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., Sunday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., with 154 seats, and seeking approval.
All right, I'll open it up to the board for any questions or comments.
One question.
Jim?
Anticipated opening date?
We expect to hold a friends and family event on Saturday, September 20th, which is by invite only, and I'd love to extend that invite to the board, as well as our opening date on September the 22nd.
Right. Thank you. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Nick?
I have no questions.
Joe?
No, just good luck.
Thank you.
Sarah?
No questions. Looked good, and welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone's excited, and we're happy to have you, and there's a lot of buzz in town, so I think you're going to do very well. And I have no other questions. So, any comments? Mr. Denizio?
Welcome to town. I know everybody's anxiously awaiting the arrival, so it'll be great.
Awesome.
Thank you
So
very much.
With that, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the general license for Tate Bakery and Cafe at 101 Middlesex Turnpike.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Chair is also an aye. That's 5-0. You're all set. Congratulations, and good luck.
Thank you very
Welcome
much.
to town.
Thank you.
Looking forward to having you.
All right, next item on our agenda is a review vote of some September town meeting warrant articles, which is right around the corner, thankfully, happily. Mr. Denizio?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have Chief Connery here to talk about, we're going to talk about 2 articles tonight, Article 9 and 10. There are 12 articles on the warrant, plus a resolution, but the 2 that are ready to talk about tonight are the lift assist article, which is Article 9, that Chief Connery can talk about more about, and then also the renaming, stormwater, erosion, and sedimentation control bylaw, which both Eileen and two of the board members of our commission were here twice to talk to us about. And the last time, we indicated that we would vote on it at the next meeting, so that we'll do that tonight. We told them they didn't need to come after the last meeting, you all said you were in favor. And then we'll talk more about what we're going to do with the rest of the articles and the timing of that. We do have a meeting scheduled for the 29th, the day of town meeting, for any last-minute business, but we'll hopefully talk about doing something before that. But Chief Connerty is here to talk about adding this lift assist fee to the bylaws. This was recommended through a lot of consultation from the chief with Lisa Mead in her office, and he's been through the general bylaw review gauntlet a couple times now, because this was going to come at May, but after some concerns from the general bylaw review committee, we pulled it to make sure that those were taken care of and promised to be back for September, and that's what brings us here today. So, Chief, I don't know if you want to give a quick overview of what it is. You have in the backup and the warrant are in the agenda backups.
Yeah, just a brief summary. It's when we go to the assisted living facilities in town that, they charge a fee to their residents to, for their services, for their housing, food, whatever. Occasionally, they call us when they have a resident who's down, who's fallen, not injured, and we don't have a means to charge them for that. This is a nominal fee to rectify that, and it's based on FEMA's apparatus fees and our payroll. So, if you have any questions?
I think just to add that, so if we normally are answering an emergency, which is typically what the fire department's going to do, when the person gets in an ambulance and goes to the hospital, that is going to be taken care of because of the ambulance fee. But this is for what's really not an emergency,
Right.
But more of a convenience,
Yeah.
which is great. We want to continue to do it whenever we can, but just don't have a means to charge for it.
Any questions, comments?
Just a quick question, a quick comment. As the subcommittee of the fire department, we've been going not back and forth, but talking about this for a while. I'll be reading the statistics later for the fire department, but statistically speaking, just alone in the month of July and August, it was 28 lift assists. That's averaging one every other day, 15 a month. There's 15 times a month that our firefighters go to someone on the floor, basically, and Chief, correct me if I'm wrong, staff is not allowed to touch the residents in those cases?
Some of them have policies for them to call us, whether it be to reduce their liability for injury, or they don't want to take the liability of possibly injuring their resident by either picking them up wrong or dropping them.
Or injure themselves?
Or injure the employee of the facility, yes.
Right, so-
And occasionally, there's some intricate lifting that has to go on.
So potential...
Now, I just want,
Yep.
on those incidents, they're not all lift assists at these assisted living facilities. Those are all throughout the town. We aren't charging for residents. It's only, as of right now, there's 3 facilities in town that have a large amount of elderly residents, and they rely on us to help them pick them up.
So that was, my next point was, we have 3 for-profit agency, companies, I guess you could call them, places in our town, for-profit agencies that won't put their hands on the patients they'll want our firefighters to take on, which we'll do, we'll help anybody we can, but the potential for injury to one of our firefighters, they don't want a chance injuring themselves, so they'll call the fire department, which puts them at risk here. And again, this is only for for-profit institutions. And at the current status, we could have an EMS crew, firefighters, down at one of these three facilities is on the border of the Bedford line, and if the incident is across town, that's a risk for the residents or whoever may be, if it's a crash, to go from this side of town. We know we can't get through Burlington fast, easy sometimes, parts of the day, but it's a risk to the firefighters, it's a risk to the residents and travelers in Burlington, so I highly, highly support this bylaw change.
Nick?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chief, thanks for being here for questions. Do we know, or will we be concerned at all with the facility putting this cost burden onto the residents?
I don't know what the facility is going to do with that.
Yeah, it's just an unknown, right? Like there's no way for us to know what they're going to do.
Right. Yeah. Some of the, having a little experience with this, they have sort of à la carte. You pay your rent, but then you can pay à la carte for other services.
Right.
I don't know if they would institute that as a fee.
Yeah. This is the only piece of this that bugs me, is that we are looking to recoup the cost of having our team go out there because the staff doesn't want to do it, or the staff won't do it, is unable to do it, whatever however you want to phrase it. But then because it's a capitalist thing, they're going to pass that cost on to the residents, but the residents pay when these facilities already cost a lot of money as it is, and we've got seniors who are, on fixed incomes. So my only hesitancy is that I fear that we're not jeopardizing, that's a little harsh, that we're adding a further burden to the residents, all because the staff can't pick these people up. I'm in support of moving this forward to town meeting, obviously. I want to see what town meeting has to say. I'd love to discuss it further with regard to, if there's language that we can ensure. We are saying to them, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to look up the little guy, and it seems like we kind of don't have a good measure in place for that. So without prattling, I'll stop. But that's where I'm concerned. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Nick? Sarah?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I actually had the same concern as Nick. Going into this, it says the charge is going to the for-profit assisted living facility, but ultimately, will they turn around and say, okay, you owe us for that to the resident? So that is a concern of mine. Don't know, there's nothing we can really do. We can't tell them how to run their business. So that is a concern of mine. I had a question, so I know this was going to be brought up at the last town meeting or town meeting, whenever it was going to be brought up, and there were some concerns by the General Bylaw Review Committee. What were those concerns and how were they addressed?
Well, at first, it was apparently the lateness of its submission, but when I finally talked to them, it was the way it was written, the fees were in the bylaw. So instead of having the fees in the bylaw, it is referencing how it's going to be paid, how it's going to be charged. The fee, so the FEMA cost for the engine and the overtime is, it's going to be presented to this board and approved by this board, and if changes need to be made, it will come back to this board, as opposed to being in the bylaw and having the bylaw have to be
Changed by town meeting.
changed by
Yeah.
town meeting.
So it was a sort of logistics. That makes sense. Okay. I'm in support of this in theory. I do just have those underlying concerns about who is going to pay ultimately. But otherwise, I appreciate the write-up that you sent that explained everything, because this is brand new to me. And it does make sense. So I would support this going in front of town meeting. Thank you.
Thanks. Joe? Okay. I have a lot of comments, and forgive me, everyone, because to me, this whole discussion just seems like banana land. Now, I'm going to kind of go through it, and this is not towards you, Chief, but the situation in general for someone watching on TV, following along, not aware, because I wasn't aware of this type of situation until maybe 6 months ago. So what happens is if there's a person who's living in a long-term care facility and they fall on the ground, the people who run that facility's staff will not pick up that person, period, won't touch them. And it's on us to go there and pick them up and put them back into a chair? Do I have it right?
There are times when that is the case.
Okay, and so, there could be a period of time where someone actually falls, an elderly person falls, and just lays there like a carcass until we can get there? Is that really how this works? People pay for this?
My intent wasn't to bring light onto, any
I know.
conjecture on how long anybody's going to be down or not. It was more or less the commercial use of the fire department for what I believe able-bodied people there could do. At times at night, they may not have a lot of staff on, so that's part of it. But,
And I know you didn't. I apologize. I didn't mean to. This seems just like and I guess this is just a general rant, that this seems like there should be a better way to handle, because my mother is coming up in age, and we're going to be looking at one of these places maybe for her, and it would kill me to know that, oh, your mother fell, but, our staff is not equipped to pick her up, and the fire department did come in 20 minutes. I mean, so it just doesn't seem, I don't know, and I don't know who we go to change this. I guess this could be bigger than us. This whole discussion, and I get the Warren article, all in favor of it, on what we're doing here and getting all the paperwork. And I think, of course, that charge is going to go back to the person. But I guess my rant is towards these facilities. You're not offering, comprehensive care if you let someone who pays you to be under your care lay on the floor until the local fire department can arrive. And I guess it just seems weird. Now, is this the same thing in other towns too, where other municipalities have to come to their? Is this a common thing?
I think it's common enough where people are, like the Burlington Fire Department, are looking into these changes. There's a couple of towns down the South Shore that implemented it a few years ago, which is what I based our policy on, our bylaw.
Well, I commend you and the fire department. I mean, I know you guys have enough on your plate already as it is, and I think that I guess my rant is more towards the industry, that they should, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something that should be on us to do, and I know that's life. It just seems, I'm sorry, I don't know, it just seems strange that we can talk about this like it's okay. It doesn't seem right.
Can I do rant 2.0?
Please.
Okay. While you were talking, Mr. Chairman, a couple of things came to my mind, especially when Nick and Sarah said they may pass it on to the residents. Well, maybe this is a catalyst for the residents and their families, or their families, to say, wait a minute, what's going on here? There's a potential that myself or my family member is going to sit on the floor. Maybe that might start an effort to change the policies of these places. I don't know. Especially, think of the situation if we have a crash on 128 or a house fire. How long is the person on that ground going to wait? Right? It'll take a few minutes for them to get there if they're not busy. Just imagine if they are busy.
Right.
So hopefully, by implementing these charges, and if they do try to pass it on to the resident, maybe the resident and/or their family will say, what's going on here? Maybe. It could lead to changes in that industry, I don't know, but I hope it does.
Yeah, and I just know you guys are busy enough that it just doesn't seem like that should fall under, I don't know. But yeah, I'm sorry to rant, everyone.
That's all right.
I'm in favor of the warrant article and the charges. I know that they are going to go back to, right back to the residents, because they're not going to eat them out of the goodness of their heart if they won't pick someone up off the floor, but, all right, sorry. All right, any other questions or comments? All right.
Are we looking for some?
Yes.
I wasn't going to speak on this, but this is a big catch-22 for us, because no matter what we do, we're going to take the brunt of. I agree with what he's saying, but as far as like the places that house these people, they're going to pass that buck on to somebody else.
Of course they will.
And it's not, I think the corporations are so big that they don't care. They just don't care. And you can get all up in arms and say, well, we want to do this and we want to do that. It'll take a long time to get on that road. By the time we get on that road, we won't even be in those places, you know what I mean? It's a tough situation. I do agree with what's going on as far as what we need to do, as far as charging them, but the buck's going to get passed down to the residents. We all know that. And I don't know what we do as a board of selectmen to do about it. I don't know what we can possibly say or do to change those rules and regulations, because they're all owned by 2 or 3 major companies, and they don't care. They don't. It's a money grab. Let's face it, all those places. I looked at all of them for my mom and dad, and they're all just money grabs. Everything's an extra. You know? So, I agree with this. I'm all in favor for it, but the bottom line is, I don't think we have a leg to stand on as far as what they're going to end up doing. I do agree with this, though.
So just a question of order. Are we looking to vote on this tonight to support? Okay, I'll if nobody has anything else, I'll recommend we support the changes, the amended Article 13, Section 10 to non-emergency lift assist fee article as presented by the chief and as we have in the backup.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those abstain? Chair is also an aye. That's 5-0. Thank you, Chief, for coming in.
Chief.
Thank you. Sorry for the rants. That wasn't towards you. It was just me being crazy.
I understand.
But thank you for all you do. All right, moving right along. We have another.
Yep, so we have Article 10, which you've heard presentations 2 different times on. So I was hoping the board could take a position on this, so we could just let Conservation know as they work their way through the rest of their approvals from other places.
All right, yeah, we've heard of the comment. I think everyone was in favor. Anyone have any comments before we make a motion?
I had a question, not for them, but for kind of us. Have we heard from anyone opposing this beyond, I remember last time they came before town meeting, it was really about the control aspect of kind of where the regulation sat, and a lot of folks preferred it to sit within the bylaw. And that's the big change here, but like, does anybody else have any concerns? Not even you guys, but things you may have heard. I haven't really heard anything about this a whole lot, beyond what I've heard from the proponents and town meeting when we last met with them. No? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it sounds great in theory. I hope it works well in practice if it should get passed. I think that not everything should be jammed into the bylaws. It's definitely one thing that we're learning as we move through the government review committee process, is that, there are kind of levels to governance at the local level, and that, we just kind of operate on the notion that everything's in our bylaws, and therefore that's kind of where it should sit. So this could be a good first step forward to see how we like it, feel it out. So I'm in support of it. I think it's relatively harmless from where I sit, which is kind of why I was asking to see if anyone had heard anything different. So yeah, that's all I have.
All right, in that case, we'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to support the town meeting warrant article regarding amending and renaming stormwater and erosion and sedimentation control bylaw.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Chair is also an aye. That's 5-0. Moving right along to subcommittee reports.
Chairman, before you do, could we just, I just wanted to say that I sent a summary about the other articles and which ones we expected to have someone come present to you. If there's anything different or changed from that, just let me know if you'd like to take a position on any of the others, or you'd like someone to come to be able to speak to it. We can do that. We obviously have arranged for, get the high school building committee to come talk about that article. We can have Board Blum come talk about their article. And then Patrick and I will talk about if any of those contracts settled before. Maybe we can do that, but the other ones don't usually take a position on. So if you do choose to, just let me know.
When should we let you know by? ASAP?
Yeah, by the end of the week, I said, that'd give us, I guess it'll depend when our next meeting is going to be.
And that's my question, actually, because our next meeting is technically the night of town meeting. Are we
It
going
is.
to, all those votes of support or not are going to be taking place at that meeting? Or
Yeah, I think it would be
thinking
tough
about-
to get the building committee and Board Blum to come to that meeting, because that's usually only an hour meeting.
And they like to be there ahead of town meeting to have their materials to show town meeting members.
Yeah, so that's, we talked about maybe the 15th, 21st, 17th, I'm sorry, 15th or 22nd, or the 17th as potential
Okay.
dates. I think the 22nd works best, but we can talk about it after.
Oh, we don't have a meeting on the 22nd? We go right to the
No,
29th?
we have it on the 29th, the 20th.
Because of town meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So we're probably going to have to add one.
So we can ping you guys all after to see what days work, what days don't work for people, and
Yeah.
try to make sure we have an opportunity to get everybody there.
Okay.
We certainly have enough to talk about.
Through the chair, would we have a second meeting after town meeting specific to the high school building project?
Yeah, the plan is for us to schedule a meeting for the adjournment of, or at least the end of night one,
Right, okay.
so that you could vote, or at the next one.
Sure, okay.
Whatever works easiest. You know, if everybody's going to be there at the end of night one, we can do it right there. If not, we can do it the next one.
Okay.
That's-
I'm sorry, what was that for?
So, given the timeline, taking a vote about the special election.
Special election, okay.
As soon as humanly possible after town meeting votes,
Got it.
assuming it's a positive vote.
All right, subcommittee reports. Let's go first.
I just have a couple, and it's going to be one that everybody wants to talk about, but the Burlington Beer Gardens have started up for September. Every Thursday in September, the beer gardens are happening down in the town center. The first one was last Thursday, and it was very well attended, really great crowd, great vibes, good music, good food, good beer, and a really great time. And I was talking to somebody that night, and they said, you know, when I first heard about these events, I thought, that is crazy, and that is never going to work. And then he says he looks forward to it every year. So it's just a really great time, and I encourage everybody to go check it out any Thursday evening in September. And just one minor thing, I'm on the DPW subcommittee, and I just wanted to give a heads up to my neck of the woods down on Mountain Road and Wynn Street. That traffic light is going to start going in this month. Within the next few weeks, they're going to start construction on that, Joe. I know your building is right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's been a long time coming. That was approved by town meeting a little while ago, and it's been in the design process, the bid process, and now it's finally getting installed. That's a very tricky area of Wynn Street. There are often accidents, people speeding, going very fast, so hopefully that helps people over in that Mountain Road area and people who live and work around there, and that will make that road a lot safer. So just a heads up that that's going to be starting soon.
You know the timeline on that, Sarah? How long it'll take?
He said it was going to be done this fall, so I don't know, construction maybe 6 to 8 weeks or so. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, it should be done this fall.
Awesome. All right. Joe?
Oh, and sorry, I have one more thing.
Okay.
I just want to say happy birthday to my daughter Violet, who is here.
Happy birthday, Violet.
Happy birthday. There you go, standing around with me. There we go, happy birthday.
Joe?
I'm so excited about the birthday.
Dave, you want to sing?
Wave to the camera.
Well, I'd sing, but she'd probably get embarrassed. You wouldn't want to hear me
She's like,
sing.
okay, we're done now.
Sounds like a turtle anyway. No, there's been a couple of things. The biggest thing right now is that all the applications are in for the hunting season this year. It starts the end of the month. We got 16 people to sign up. Proficiency test is on September 20th. Anybody's welcome to come watch and see what I do up there. It's at the Woburn Sportsman's Club. I've told Eileen about it. I don't know if she's going to be there this year or not. The archers have to complete a test that I put out there. If they pass, they get a tag. If they don't get to hunt. So it's pretty simple, straightforward. So just be ready for that. That's coming up, and you know I say it every time, just to keep all the people aware of what's going on in the landlocked forest. So that's it.
Thank you, Joe. Take us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thankfully, Chief Connery's here if I make a mistake on my fire department subcommittee report. But some very positive news. So Burlington, Bedford, and Billerica we got a waiver from the state OEMS, Office of Emergency Medical Services, to start introducing epinephrine, ALS level, in the field. Typically, this is done in the emergency room or operating room. So our EMS, our paramedics, the waiver started in July. In Burlington alone, our paramedics have administered epinephrine in the field that have resulted in very positive outcomes of the patients they were treating, and actually impacted their survival. So that's just, it started in July, so that's very, very good news as far as what our ALS can do now on the field. And I asked for an update on the vehicles because I wanted to kind of let you, the board and the public, know why these things are bought at certain times or ordered at certain times. For example, the ambulance we ordered in 2023, it was delivered this June, and went to service in August. Command car we ordered was delivered in July, but it still needs to go to a vendor to have other equipment installed. That won't be in service until October. The UTV, the utility terrain vehicle, the rescue vehicle off-road, it's been ordered. It's a 6-month, and this was from last year. It's a 6-month delivery. And the pump rescue skid is back for back ordered. It'll be here a couple months for delivery. The ambulance approved in May is still being spec'd out. Delivery is expected in 3 years. And the tower engine we ordered 2 years ago is expected to be delivered October of next year. And the new engine that was recently ordered is expected to arrive in January of 2029. So this is why these things have to be ordered years in advance, because it takes a long time for them to get here. So that's just an update on the vehicles. As far as activity for the fire department, July, 472 calls. Oh, hold on, Chief, did I get all that right? Yes. July, 472 calls, responses. August, 422 calls. 2 of those calls, one was a lightning strike to a house on Cutting Lane, which the lightning was wild the other night, by the way. And also a vehicle into a building at Beacon Village. So as you can see, the fire department is constantly busy. This is why the equipment, if it wears out, it's used 24/7, and we need to make sure our equipment is safe for the firefighters and the residents. So that's it on the fire department. The other thing I have is from the Chamber of Commerce. I'm just going to read a quick thing from the Chamber so I don't get it wrong, but it's about the Taste of Burlington, which is, again, this town has so many great events, and this is one of those Burlington great events that we have annually. It's the Taste of Burlington. It's where it showcases some of the Burlington's finest restaurants, which then attracts businesses to locate here and customers from around the state that bring attention and outside dollars to the town of Burlington. The website is baccma.org, and it is the 29th of September, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Marriott. VIP tickets already sold out. General admission, $75. No tickets are at the door. They have to be pre-ordered. And seniors, those are 65 and over, $50 per ticket. And that's it for my subcommittees.
Mr. Priest?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to echo what Sarah was saying about the beer garden, expanded space, and it was still packed. For anyone who hasn't been, check it out. It really is like a family, kid-friendly event. People bring their dogs. It was a great time. Me and the wife and the kids went, to the first one, and it was a blast. We always have a great time. And it was nice seeing all the businesses being represented, the different food trucks, just the general expansion. Obviously, Melissa and Kelly do a fantastic job with it, and the community has supported it. We're making good strides with the Government Review Committee as we continue to kind of dig into this. Really, it's a bear of a process where we're essentially, kind of breaking apart everything we know about how our local government, Burlington's local government functions, and just considering everything and where things sit versus bylaw versus regulations, and just really just understanding it and breaking it down and having good discussions about it. And I really appreciate Betsy Hughes and Jess Sutherland for spearheading that subcommittee. Lastly, I do want to talk about the double polls that Alex had mentioned during Citizens Time, because as you all know, it's a real thorn in my side, all of our sides really, but I'm trying to champion doing something about it. The ton of resistance, right? The current state law does not have enforcement built into it, which really hog ties us at the local level, which is infuriating. Trying to work with Verizon has been a very difficult process, and I'm hoping to make headway there. Working with town council to try and figure out, a path forward for that. I'm going to bring to this board in the coming weeks, essentially a letter from us to the state, whether it be the governor, our state senators, our reps, whoever it is, saying we need to be able to have the flexibility here at the local level, the town level, to do something about this. To Alex's point, there's no point in having laws, but there's no way to enforce them. It's a really well put, way to define this particular problem. And it is, it's a problem. And not only is it an eyesore, but you'll all recall when the contractor for Verizon was here, kind of giving us the runaround for several meetings about why they had to have a guy wire to support a pole. So now we're questioning safety issues. We have residents coming to meetings and making phone calls saying, I'm watching them put another double pole, what's going on? And we just don't have answers. And there's nothing more infuriating than being an action-driven board and not being able to take the steps necessary to resolve the things that we want to see resolved. There's nothing more infuriating to sit behind this dais and go, we can't do anything. Like, that is the most ultimate level of frustration I've ever experienced. It's like, you've elected us to be the executive board of this community, of this town of Burlington, Massachusetts, and we're sitting here saying we can't do anything, not because we don't care, because the law says we can't. That's absurd. That's absurd. So we are going to do everything we can and push as hard as we can on this and many other issues. Just know that you have a board here who is working for you. Of that much, I can assure you. Everything else, we'll just do what we can. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Nick. One more, Joe?
Yes, I forgot, I got so excited about hunting. A water ban, just real quick. So the residents, everyone knows there's a water ban going on right now, means no watering whatsoever. A lot of it has to do with the water pressure throughout the town. If the fire department needs to put out a fire, the water pressure is a little bit lower than it should be right now. Please, if you're watering, you don't have to water every day, even in the good times. You can water once a week. I'm not saying that you can, you can't. Please stop watering, especially the businesses in town. I hear it every single day at work. How come this guy's watering? How come that guy's watering? How come this one? I don't have the answers for that. All I know is that they're supposed to be getting fined. Hopefully the fines, at some point, we can enlarge the fines to make it a little bit more less intrusive for them to water. Some people will turn around and say, well, it's $50 the first time, it's $100 the time after that, that's $300 a week, I can afford that, I'm going to water anyway. So if we make it where they don't want to pay that kind of money, then we'll make it. Well, those are just my thoughts on the water ban. There is a water ban on right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. I have a couple of my,
No, you go, because you might be covering this, so if you don't, I'll
all right.
add one more.
All right. Just to echo the comments about the beer gardens, I think they're the best thing we do as a town. And they're so like casual and fun, and people come out, and it's good to see everybody. And I always say, I'm not going to go, I'm not going to go. And I go, and I end up seeing so many people and catching up with so many people I haven't seen in a while. It's a nice communal effect, and it's also helping the businesses in the town center. I think Melissa is just invaluable with what she's been able to bring to the town. So mine, I have a couple. On Saturday, Mr. Select Board Member Tigas dragged me out to the Leahy Clinic 5K cancer walk, and it was the first time I go. And Jim goes every year, and it was a really cool event. I'm glad that he convinced me to come along. They had about 1,000 participants, and they had a whole thing set up, and everyone was great. We talked to Dr. Susan Moffett-Bruce, the president of Leahy, and met the cancer chair, Paul Hesketh, and he runs the 5K run walk. But it was a nice morning and a nice event, and it's another one of those great things about Burlington is we have a world-class hospital in our town, in our backyard, doing great things like this cancer walk. And you wouldn't even know. They do it so early in the morning, well, for a Saturday, I guess, and you wouldn't even know that it would happen. A lot of people probably don't even know what happens. It's a great event, and they do it every year, and I was glad to go. Second, the next meeting for the police station building committee is Thursday at 12 o'clock, right here in this room. And lastly, on the 27th, People Helping People is having their second annual Burlington Feud, and we were going to be going to avenge our second place finish of last year with the questionable call on one of the answers. But we will.
I will never.
Yeah, I think we were robbed, so I still tried to protest that and was unsuccessful. But we'll just have to win this year and get that back. So it's a great event, and we lost to the school committee last year, and all the boards in town make a team, and sometimes other people just come and make a team. So it's a great night for a great cause. People helping people. Again, it's the Saturday the 27th, and since our meeting is not till the 29th, I just wanted to bring that up. So that's all I had. Did I get what you
That was the one I was gonna
All right.
add, but I did just also want to say, as of when I was talking to somebody, people at the beer garden actually, there was still a couple of openings for teams. So if any organizations in town are interested in being a team, it's really fun, very lighthearted, but tough competition. But it's a really fun event, really good cause for our food pantry in town. So if any groups in town want to form a team, then come along.
Yeah, it's not hard. You just need 5 people. It's like Family Feud style game, and it's a really lot of fun. Chairman, Town Administrator report?
Yes, thank you. I'll just talk about 2 more quick things. This Thursday on 9/11 at 9:50 a.m., the fire department each year at the 9/11 Memorial on the Common honors those that we lost on 9/11 and since from the horrific attack, and the police department. And then another one you definitely don't want to miss is at the Senior Center at 9 a.m. on the 18th. Is the monthly or twice a month, every 2 months, coffee with the TA. It'll be my second one.
Ooh.
Hopefully, it's going to go better than the first one, but anybody that frequents the Senior Center, swing by, and I'll bring you some treats.
Sounds good.
Tom, what time is that on the 18th?
The 18th is at 9 a.m.
No heckling.
Yeah, I'll also add that also for the beer garden, another plug, 2 key components to the Economic Development Director's job is not only commerce and economic development, but is also the livability access. When you ask anybody, any of the employers in town, they talk about having the amenities, having the community spirit, having the public arts, all that stuff. And Melissa works hard on all of that, so kudos to her whole team, her and Kelly.
All righty. With that, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chairman, may I make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 5-0. Motion, meeting adjourned.